Hello and welcome to Art Now and Here, live on Atlantic Broadband Channel 25. And I think tonight we're going for a public access television record. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 guests. But a lot of ground to cover. It's the Hygienic 38 taking over the show today. And I want to welcome my guest, Sarah McKay.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Ben Parent.
Hello.
Amy Hannum.
Hi.
And Susan Hickman.
Hello.
All legendary artists in the New London hygienic scene. And hey, I'll give you a discussion, a topic, Hygienic 38, discuss.
Hygienic 38 is coming in 2 days. Get ready.
Woo.
Hide your children. Hygienic 38 is known for being uncensored, unjuried. It started with the Salon de Independence art show, as you know. We expect 500 artists to come to New London to drop off their one piece this Saturday, January 28th. So 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. you come one piece. As long as you can fit it through the door. I suggest getting there early because people crowd up the space. And so the nature of that exhibit has grown into a 2-week arts festival throughout downtown New London.
Crazy.
Which includes 11 events. And I've brought with me the coordinators of 3 of our really key important events. So we have Ben Parent here, who does the Rock House at the Crocker House Ballroom Saturday night, starts at 7 p.m. Just to let you know, the events we're going to be talking about, they're all free or for suggested donation. So you have no excuse. Get off your couch, turn off the Netflix, come down to New London this weekend. It's an order. And I'm going to turn it over to Ben and let him talk to you a little bit about Saturday night's Rock House at the Crocker House Ballroom.
Thank you, Sarah. Absolutely great to be here. Thanks, Drew, for having us. Rock House at the Crocker House is a really fun event showcasing some of New London's finest rock talent. Excited to be doing it for the 2nd year. There's an incredible history in New London of great local music. This year we have some of New London's finest bands. We're kicking it off at 7 o'clock with Ann Castellano and the Smoke, followed by a great Brit-pop trio called Monkey 68. My band, the River Gods, is going to play a set. New London classic, famous band, The Whales, been around about 35 years. They're back from the New Johnny 5 Reduces era, playing a lot in the city again, still kicking butt. They're going to play Dog Bite, also Reduces era. Hugh Birdsall runs that band. The fabulous Franklin Brothers going to put in a big set late night, and then followed the end is the Mick Jaggers, a great punk band, punk rock. They do some covers, some originals, so all good stuff. As Sarah said, it's a great time to be getting out. You want to get off your social media. You've had enough of political feeds. You want to get off Twitter. Just put that stuff to rest. Keep it real. Come out. See some art. Hear some live music.
There is a bar available also at these events. The Rock House, can you tell me or remind me a little bit more, what is the genre of music of, for example, Franklin Brothers, for those who don't know?
So the Franklin Brothers are like a big, funky, soulful horn band. Great musicians, just get up and move type of band. You know, there's a lot of music going on in the city. We tried to focus on things that are really fun, danceable,
they're all regional bands.
Regional, listenable, good to hang out and drink with your friends. We're going to have some cabaret tables. We're going to have a dance area. Nice. And when you're not there, you should head over and see Amy in the Hygienic Garden. So
Until you get cold.
Segue.
So you can bounce back and forth.
That's right. You can move around. You can like get a wristband and come in and out. You can go see the show. You can go see the Blacklight Garden. You can go to the Rock House.
That's right. When you need to plug your ears and give your eardrums a break, you can come on down to the Blacklight Garden party and just walk through a built environment, constructed environment, all lit by blacklight, completely fluorescent.
Crazy.
We have a garden area, we have a gallery maze, and we have an aquarium area. We're going to have DJs playing from 8 to 11 for opening night.
And fluorescent
Exactly.
drinks.
So wear your fluorescent clothes. So don your neon. I'm not sure which camera is on, so I'm like, whatever. Am I looking at the camera now? So grab your neon, find your fluorescent clothing, come to the Blacklight Garden party. When you get too cold, you can head to the Rock House, or you can head inside to the Hygienic Gallery where the art show is happening. Fluorescent garden, or the Blacklight Garden Party is also going to have a bar with fluorescing drinks. Like I said, live music. It's just going to be a really good time. You can come and hang out.
Who are some of the DJs again?
So we have DJ Benjamin is opening up, and then DJ Mayo Noise.
That's
I love
awesome.
that.
Noise.
DJ Mayo
Nice.
Noise. And then DJ Metal is,
Nice.
you know, Metal, yeah,
Oh,
is finishing
awesome.
out the night.
Very
So
cool.
it's going to be very dancey, loungy, break beats. It's going to be music you can shake your booty to.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, wear your fluorescent clothing
And dress
come on
warmly.
down. Dress warmly, and when you get too cold, head somewhere warm because there's tons of stuff going on that night.
Nice.
So as you know, Drew, because you've been involved in all of this for a few years now, how many times have you participated in the show?
This will be my 4th Salon
Your
Independence.
4th
yeah.
Salon de Independence.
Oh my gosh.
So
Let's touch base on
You're
the screening
kidding.
room.
Yeah, we have so many events. So like we said, there's 11 events total that are happening simultaneously and separated over the next 2 weekends. Whatever the weather is, we will go on. Snow, rain, unless the state says, you know, you have to close the roads. So don't call and say, oh, are you still having it? It's snowing. Put it in 4-wheel drive, get a friend who has an SUV and get there. And that's part of the fun, too. We had a lot of fur coats last year.
Oh,
Amy
yeah.
actually donned one last year.
Oh, yeah.
So
That's
definitely
all the
have
fun.
to.
It's
Yeah, it's part of
getting
it.
out
It's
the
part of being a
winter
New
and-
Englander.
Yeah.
So I'm in the art park all day, every day, so I've got to dress warmly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're good at that. So Saturday, we just covered the 3 kind of main events on Saturday, January 28th. This is all on hygienic.org also. So if you forget the dates or what times, visit hygienic.org. That's HYGIENIC.org. People misspell it all the time.
Screening room.
Screening Room Friday is amazing. This year, it's actually hosted by Casey Spectacular, and it's produced by Alexia Lalonde. And there are the most submissions that I've seen in years.
Wow.
There's actually three and a
great.
half. We were supposed to have a 3-hour event. There's 3.5 hours of film.
Wow.
So that's on Friday, this Friday, at the Crocker House Ballroom, 35 Union Street. And basically, it's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to open the doors at 5:30. Come in, get a seat. And it's, again, uncensored, unjuried. So we have professional filmmakers, we have emerging filmmakers, there's animation, there's music videos, there's documentary, there's attempts at horror films, I would say. There's all sorts of artistic interpretations of what film is, and it's really, really a fun time to share each other's work and, you know, basically applaud people's hard work, and some of them have had no schooling at all either, so it's interesting how they interpret it.
That's this Friday,
This
7
Friday.
o'clock, Crocker Ballroom.
6 o'clock.
It's 6 o'clock.
6
okay.
o'clock p.m. this Friday. So that's January 27th at the Crocker House Ballroom.
So
Definitely.
the films will start at 6 o'clock this Friday at the Crocker House
Mm-hmm.
Ballroom.
And Drew Wilson is putting in a film as well.
Nice.
Happens to be about hygienic, which is a nice mix.
It was a great opportunity to play a piece that I was really happy to do for the Hygienic. It was a piece that we did back in the spring, and then when the logo was changed, we put it together. I re-edited it, and looking forward to more
Yeah.
people seeing it. It's a
Great.
it's a fun piece, and features
Yeah.
Ginger at the Artist Academy Junior telling everybody
About
that.
skunks.
That she likes skunks and her brother
We
likes
take
badgers.
things very seriously. So, in addition to the Film Fest on Friday night, we have the Hootenanny, which happens at 33 Golden Street, thanks to Jean and Craig. And the Hootenanny has been happening for years, coordinated by Sherry Stidful, and many of New Londoners have had her as their music teacher. So it's amazing Americana music in a really great environment, 33 Golden. So that's also on Friday. And the lineup is absolutely fabulous. We've got the Carolines playing, and people that are truly sincere about making music. It's not as fast-paced as some of the DJ stuff that Amy and Ben or the Rock House has going on, but it's nice listening. Come with your friends. And this year, proceeds, it's free, but any donations, proceeds are actually going to go to, it's going to be called Songs for Dante. So Dante Scarano has medical bills that he needs paid, and as a community, we come together and we help each other out. So that's really important. So Friday is Hygienic Eve. So if you're walking around downtown and you hear people say Happy Hygienic, this is what they're talking about. It's the madness of this creative arts festival taking over downtown New London. So Hygienic Eve, it's like Christmas Eve to me. Hygienic Eve is starting Friday, and then we have Saturday with the annual exhibit Salon de Independence. That opening reception is 7 p.m. It's absolutely packed, and there's such amazing artwork in that show, and it's uncensored, unjuried, no fees. And then for some of the events, we do have a suggested donation, but even if you can't afford the suggested donation, come. Even if you can give $1, great. If you have nothing, just come in. We want you to be there. This is for the community, and we get people coming in from all over New England for these events. So that's this weekend. So 3 events that four
Good
events.
Show. Good show, right?
The Artist
Right,
Expo,
that's
thank
Saturday.
you. So coordinated by Lorraine, Ohio. This will be her final year as coordinator for this event. The Young Artist Expo occurs at the Guard Arts Gallery, and that's the address. I think it's
325 State Street.
Good.
Everybody knows the
Guard.
Guard, though. It's the top of State Street on the east side of State Street.
Look for the neon lights.
So the Young Artist Expo is basically, so we have the uncensored show that happens at hygienic art galleries, and sometimes that's not always appropriate for children, and they need to show their work also and have a really good time. So the Guard works with us, and it's really, really amazing because the students or public children come and drop off your work Thursday or Friday between 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. So you bring one piece, you drop off your work, hang it on the wall, and then on Saturday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., there's all sorts of events. There's Legos, there's hula hooping, there's arts and crafts, hands-on things. We have amazing music. Steve Elsey and Friends is going to be playing. I think Hugh Birdsall's playing also. There's a really great lineup of musicians. So if you have children, come, bring them. They're going to have a great time. It's all free, and it's just a wonderful environment. So
and this is at the Guard Saturday afternoon, 1 to 4 roughly? In the afternoon, or is it all day?
The event
12 to
itself
4.
is 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay.
So that's when all of the activities are coming, the artwork is up, and the children love having their artwork seen and appreciated, and it's really fun. And they do. Children.
How about the big kids?
The
I
big
love
kids
it.
can come and enjoy the show and are encouraged to.
It's a great show.
Absolutely.
It's a great show.
Yeah, it's really
Nice
fun.
stuff.
Are your kids going to be in it?
They're both
Good.
bringing pieces, yeah.
Nice.
Star Wars
Oh,
themed.
yeah. Oh, nice. Just to interject, Blacklight Garden is also children friendly. It's all ages. The party is Saturday night starting at 8 o'clock. We have a little typo in our flyer. But the party starts at 8 o'clock. It's 8 to 11 Saturday night, this Saturday, January 28th. But unlike my other events in previous years, which have only been one night, Blacklight Garden Party is going for 2 weeks, and it will be open every evening. The gallery is open probably from about 5 until 7 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday for the 2 weeks following this week. So if you have kids and you don't want to bring them to the dance party, you can bring them.
So the installation is open to the public.
Yes.
Free.
And it's free. Of course, donations are welcome because I've burned through all
Our
of my
black lights are expensive.
materials.
Yeah.
Yes, very expensive. So donations would help me to do another project next year.
And Amy's event is one of our new events. We have 2 new events, so I'd like to say that is one you have to check out for sure.
Absolutely.
So we can move on to the next weekend's events if you're ready for it.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot to absorb.
No, I mean, that's the thing about the Hygienic 38, and I just want to say this. The Hygienic has become a legendary venue in my eyes, and it's astounding to see each year how more expansive and all-inclusive the Hygienic Week, Salon de Independence Week becomes, and constantly evolving and morphing into all sorts of different areas of art and performance and theater, dance, fashion. It's just a phenomenal event, and it is legendary in the arts world. And I just throw out this question to you. what is Hygienic 50 going to look like? What is Hygienic 100 going to look like?
Well,
It's
40
just-
is in 2 years.
Right, but I mean, it's every year it just gets bigger and bigger, and I think there'll be cruise ships. There should be cruise ships pulling into port to offload art aficionados from around the world eventually, because it's just such a great event.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I cannot quite imagine what Hygienic 50 is going to look like. Maybe ask me in a week after this event is over. That we're taking it day at a time, because it takes a
Right.
lot. And actually, you reminded me to something really important, to say thank you to our volunteers, because this is a completely volunteer-run program of events, and we have about 50 volunteers who work their butts off for this. They come in, and we still need volunteers, by the way, if you want to help out, but they come in and they help setting up, the stage, and assist with hanging the artwork and staffing the events. So it's really a community-based project. It's not done just by Hygienic. It's in partnership with our community members and also businesses who have helped out. This year, Burns Agency is our title sponsor, and they're a local business that's really helped us out. So yeah.
Well, at this point, Joe, if we could, let's play the DVD of the fashion in the ballroom, and we're going to come back and talk to Susan Hickman and cover this base. Here's last year's fashion in the ballroom. Thanks so much for playing that. That was really fun. Appreciate it. It was a great collaboration. There were so many great collaborators on that piece, and we were talking in the studio here while that was being playing, and about all the great fashions and the diversity of the designers and incredible energy. And Sarah had mentioned the volunteers that went into that production. The models were really great there. The diversity of the different fashions, and Pro Systems that did the lighting there, I think, was really off the charts in the lighting for that. And so I was really appreciative of the opportunity to put that together, and it was a lot of fun to do.
Thank you.
Hopefully it conveys a sense of what it's going to be even more fun this year.
Absolutely.
We have Susan Hickman here in the studio, and great to have you here. And you were one of the designers represented in that video, and you'll be presenting your designs this year again at the Fashion in the Ballroom at the Crocker House, and that's Friday, a week from this Friday. That's right.
It's a week away almost. Yes,
yes it is.
I'm lucky you guys are opening this weekend. We have another extra week, so it's Friday, February 3rd. I do want to mention that the doors open at 7 o'clock because you can come in, get a drink at the bar, get your seat, go to the boutique. You can do some shopping. Definitely grab a seat. We draw hundreds of people. I like to brag, it's one of the bigger events. But yeah, hundreds of people come. It's usually packed. We have 6 designers this year. So in the video that you just saw, it's going to be Alonzo again, Anna, myself. We have Nellie back. We're actually happy to have Hive Skate Shop, which is a local business in New London, showing some collaborations with some local designers and skatewear. And then we also have Irina back, who is actually native to Russia, and she has a shop in Westerly, I think. She has her own boutique. So there's all different levels of designers, people who kind of just do it for fun, do it in their free time, and then people who are actually professionally, like, you know, making a living off of their own fashion. So definitely get there early. And like Sarah mentioned, and you mentioned, Drew, we cannot do this without all of the volunteers. So if you think about 6 designers, that's at least 60 models volunteering their time, taking off work, spending the whole day to get hair and makeup done. You know, and just as you saw in the video, how much fun everyone has backstage, on the runway, during the event, during the after party. So definitely get there. We're going to have music. There's going to be guest performances. We're going to have a guest MC, comedian, Dame FK. Yeah. So just so many people that give of their time and give to this event. It is a $10 suggested donation, but like Sarah said, you can come in, you can give $1. You can just show up if you don't have any money, just support the cause and do what you can. And the boutique is really cool because a lot of things that is it what you see on the runway is for sale, or it's similar items are for sale by the
That's what's really great about it, because there are a lot of items that come right off the runway. They go right to the boutique. We do open at 7 o'clock, though, so there's going to be a whole store set up even before the event starts. So, for example, Anna Lucas has not only stuff that she makes herself, but there are there's a whole vintage section. So, you know, vintage leather bags, belts, clothes, shoes, jewelry.
And you guys accept checks? Or just credit card and cash?
Mostly credit card and cash.
Okay. Yeah, check
probably if I know you, I'll take a cash. But the nice thing too, especially like I said, because the Hive Skate Shop is going to be there, they're going to have the site, you know, their setup is going to be a lot of the stuff that they have in their store. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be able to get, you know, hats and beanies and, you know, like the one I have on right now, Frank Lowe made.
Great hat.
Great hat.
It's a lot of handmade stuff?
I'd say mostly a lot of handmade stuff. Almost all handmade, with the exception of some of the vintage items. And that goes all right back to the designers. You know, we put a lot into the event, so it helps us to keep going and keep making stuff. So definitely support the boutique.
Right. And as with everything involved with the Hygienic, it's got an incredible energy, and it's something you all as designers have been focusing on for quite some time, I can imagine.
I like to say we work on it for months, but sometimes it's weeks, so it comes up very fast. But I have to say, even like watching that video, you get kind of excited because there's such a rush backstage with all the models, seeing how excited they get and seeing how they love to do it. And there's just an energy, and this is with all the hygienic events, there's just like this energy, a community, a rush kind of. There's a little mix of, there's fashion obviously, but there's, art to it. There's a sense of theater to it. These characters are kind of created with the different outfits, and with the performance and the MC and the music, it kind of builds, it all comes together to make this really strong energy and this really great event that has a nice vibe to it. So it's definitely a rush. The crowd makes a big part of it too. It's packed, it's standing room only.
Drinks available.
Drinks available. It's really fun. I think there's a really great energy about it.
And I just have to mention thank you to our sponsors for the fashion show this year. So that's Sarah Stifler Lucas, and I think it's Stanley Lucas at Law who helped to make this possible. So we really are appreciative of the sponsors for that event. And I also wanted to say thank you to the Astor Place, which is a local business, for sponsoring the Screening Room Film Festival to be held at the Crocker House Ballroom. So, yeah.
I also actually wanted to give a shout out to Amani Martine, who has been a great help. She's been coordinating the event. It's really hard for a lot of designers who are actually part of the event to help make everything happen, get everything in line. And she's been overseeing everything and kind of getting everyone's information and making sure everything is running smoothly, and we couldn't do it without her. So
such an important part.
Definitely thank you to her. And there's a million people I could thank.
I know, we could spend the whole show saying thank you. So if we didn't mention you tonight, really, we are so grateful for you. I think you can understand how grateful we are for your support. But if you didn't get mentioned, you're in our hearts. It's just, we have a lot of names that we don't to mention.
There'll be a running list at the end, right?
There will be credits, absolutely. Yeah, so we're talking about the second weekend, and that fashion show is on Friday. So we have another new event. So it's the Thursday, February 2nd. Yes, Thursday, February 2nd, also at the Crocker House. So this is the day before the fashion show. It's called Naked Canvas, and basically it's a body painting competition where you're actually going to be able to come in and see the last half hours of the artists working on their models. They're going to be set up in the Crocker House Ballroom. So you're going to see the end of the process, and they're going to be frantic. I'm sure there's going to be tears and meltdowns because it's it gets really intense.
Is it timed or?
Yeah, so the artists and the models, there's 30 artists and 30 models. They come in that day at 4 p.m. and they have 4.5 hours to paint their model from start to finish. And then the runway show starts at 9 p.m. on Thursday. So brushes are down at 8:30, doors open at 8, so you get to see the frantic part. And then the runway show starts at 9. And we'll see how it goes. It's our first year doing it. We have Alicia Schauer, our newest hygienic resident, coordinating it, and Rosie Rosado from Locally Lit. By the way, Susan Hickman is one of our hygienic residents who we love so much, if you didn't already know. So the Naked Canvas body painting competition is this Thursday, February 2nd. We encourage you to come. There will be, it is art, but there will be nudity, so parental advisory. The bodies will be painted completely, and the doors open at 8 p.m., drinks available. You can come in, look around, check out the process, and then the show starts at 9. So make sure to get there by 9 p.m. because with these events, we usually do have a fully packed house. So sometimes if you come like at 9:05, you're not going to get a seat. So make sure to get there before 9 p.m. on Thursday. And we have 3 judges that will basically be handing out 3 first, second, and third place awards, and they're going to be looking at 3 different categories. One is creativity. The second one is technical capabilities. So, your craftsmanship. How neat were you? How efficient were you completed? And then the third category is actually presentation. So the models are going to be part of the competition because, as you know, with the fashion show, how you present the artwork that you're wearing, in this case it's on your skin, is really important. So those 3 categories are going to, be giving the judges their restrictions on what they can judge on. So that's Thursday, Naked Canvas. Friday, fashion show. So we're on the second weekend now, for those of you who might have been tuning in. And then go ahead, Drew.
No, and I'm interested to know in terms of it's a competition because art is essentially non-competitive. It's one of the things I really love about art. It's non-competitive. It's utterly subjective. What is the competition and what are the prizes?
The prizes are cash.
Whoa.
So it allows us to give cash prizes. Everybody is a winner. Everyone is a winner in this. But this does, because of the timeline and the nature of it, it kind of it gives people incentive to, meet the deadline and complete the painting within those 4 hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me.
Are you going to be in it?
I'll be in the audience.
You're not going to be a model?
I think
we need extra models in case somebody calls out sick.
I'm sure you'll have a line out the door for that. I just want to touch base, and thank you so much for that. It's one of the events that's new this year. I'm intrigued to see what that's all about, and looking forward to taking it. I just want to mention, and Ben, I know, had put together some of the artwork, and Joe, if we could, let's take a look at some of these posters and just sort of reprieve some of these dates and times for some of these events in Hygienic 38.
Yeah, and hygienic.org has all of the information. You can always call us 860-443-8001 and ask any questions. And generally the questions we get are, is there a cost? And again, these are all free or for a suggested donation. So when it's a suggested donation, that means you can still come and pay what you can. So we encourage everyone to come down to these events.
Yeah, it's a really great event, and Hygienic 38 is going to be bigger and better than all those before it, and it's become a legendary event. And if you talk if you will for a minute, Vinny produced the poster for the Hygienic 38. Talk about some of the illustration and some of the artists that volunteered their work in creating some of these great posters we just saw.
Sure. So we have a designer sitting right here next to us, Ben Parent, and he actually, I don't know if you can zoom in on this, he created the rag for us for the second year in a row, this trifold brochure that comes in many of your mailboxes. So he did the artwork for this, and he's also done a lot of the design work for some of the posters, including the Hootenanny and the Rock House, and we're always appreciative of that aspect that goes into this as well. And then Susan Hickman designed the fashion show ballroom. Amy Hannum designs the Blacklight Garden. No ice this year.
That's
Blacklight Garden party poster. And then we also have regional artists who create paintings to be put in the exhibit poster. So Jacqueline Phillips is an amazing artist who created some work for this. And then the artist who did the body painting for this is actually Rosie Rosato. So they had a photo shoot, and she painted a live model for this photo shoot to create some of the marketing materials for this event. So it's very hands-on, grassroots type of marketing. We don't outsource our marketing to anybody. We're making it all happen ourselves. So we have, trying to think if I'm missing any artists on some of the artwork.
Davo is
oh my God. Davo does a lot of the t-shirt design. So the t-shirts are collectible. So you got to make sure to get down and get one of those. Terry Davis, Davo, he's an amazing painter, and he does a lot of artwork for a lot of this stuff too.
Let me ask Ben real quickly, and Joe, if we could punch up the Hootenanny poster. This was one of your designs here?
I love it.
Yes, one of my designs. I'm I've been a designer for 25 years, and I go back to making photocopy kind of flyers and, putting things on the copier and cutting things out and mashing things up. So some of my posters, I'm a little bit of a thief with imagery and stuff, and I find stuff and put it together, and I enjoy that aspect of taking things and sort of recycling imagery and mashing it up. So that photo is off the internet,
repurposed.
I love the lobster and the band.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great.
I just wanted to mention.
But you take it and you make it your own. You find something that sort of lends itself to the feeling of the event or the idea, and then you of course you need the lobster. It's hygienic. So it's really, to me, the posters, particularly for fun things like the Hygienic, are.
And talk, if you will, briefly, for those who don't know, the significance of the lobster, which is a motif in so many of the posters.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
It's the mascot of the Hygienic.
It's better.
Some things take a life of their own with Hygienic, and it becomes tradition. So you don't know where the tradition started, but the lobster has been around since the beginning, and it's New London hygienic. It's a thing. So yeah, a lot of the posters have hidden lobsters.
It was
them.
on
People
the
dress up
restaurant
as
sign.
That's
The
that.
hygienic
Yeah.
restaurant. Yep, when it was a restaurant many years ago,
That's what
it was on the sign, and they served lobster. I don't know if you'd really want to eat lobster at
a
this
diner?
greasy spoon diner that was open 24 hours.
And it was $3 a lobster too.
That's scary. But it stuck.
Right from
and,
off the
yeah,
dock, right
and the
by the
hygienic.
So speaking of design, and I wanted to talk about the photogenic photo
right, yeah.
scavenger hunt before we forget. So basically, the posters for that are so cool because Allie Kaufman and Sarah Connolly, who coordinate the photogenic, every year they do a photo shoot that ties to their theme. So photogenic is a photo scavenger hunt, which you're invited to be part of. There's a packet which has a list of words, and you pick up the packet this Saturday, January 28th, between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. There's only 24 packets, so you want to make sure you get one. And then you have this list of words, and you have 4 days to go out and photograph your interpretation. So it can be on your cell phone, it can be with a really nice camera. You print out the photos, you bring them back. They don't have to be framed. You bring them back to the gallery on Wednesday, and then we put those up for an exhibit, which opens the same night as the fashion show, but you can get to both because the exhibit is actually across the street at Expressiones Cultural Center. So it's right across the street from Hygienic Art Galleries, and the photos are displayed, and there's an opening reception with wine, and invite your friends if you're part of it, and come check it out. And that's 6 to 9 p.m. on Friday, February 3rd.
And a big shout out to Sarah Connolly and Allie Kaufman.
They do an amazing job.
Do an amazing job with that. That's something I personally look forward to as an artist. And last year, I thought it was just great in terms of the prompts, and two things that are really great as an artist, I always find it very stimulating for creativity, which are a deadline and some randomly subjective prompts, words. And I just think it was great. I think, I don't know, it was maybe a dozen photographs that I was involved in there, and I think I've exhibited maybe 5 or 6 of them since in different shows. So if you're an artist or photographer and maybe in a bit of a slump, or you want to, restart your creative engine, the Hygienic Photogenic, I highly, highly recommend.
And it's so
really
warm
great
and welcoming to everyone, whether you're an amateur photographer or a professional photographer. And I think the theme this year is current events. Or current affairs.
That's
so
a scoop,
it should be really interesting.
That's a scoop. I was been wondering. I was meaning to ask Sarah what maybe the themes were, and I know that's going to be one of the things I'm looking forward to this year amongst everything.
Current affairs.
Yeah, so that's photogenic, and the opening reception is at Expressiones Gallery, 6 to 9 p.m. Friday, February 3rd. So you can go to that, and then go to, you can make it in time to fashion in the ballroom. Also.
And that's what's nice about all these events is like a lot of them overlap, and you can start out at the gallery, go out to the Black Light Garden, then end up at the Rock House. There's a lot of overlapping things that
you're not going to be
there's
bored.
Something for everyone basically. So
Definitely.
This area is crazy with the arts. It's just crazy with talent, and I think these 2 weeks really give the area a chance to show off like all its artistic glory,
Yeah.
Most definitely.
One thing we haven't brought up yet is the Mayfly Playhouse. Definitely want to mention that.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
the poet.
They
that one too.
do a play in 24 hours. They
awesome.
write it, direct it, get the actors, get it all together in 24 hours, which is amazing. I've done some 48-hour film festivals, and that's intense. But I can't imagine writing a play in 24 hours. So they do that. 6 directors, 6 playwrights, and they get together and make 6 short plays and perform them. And that is Saturday, February 4th. Doors open at 7 at the Cracker House Ballroom, and the show starts at 8.
Yeah, that's a good point because it is 24 hours. It's so
Isn't
crazy
it? That's
to put
intense.
But I have to clear. So many people thought when I said, "Oh, it's a 24hour play fest," they're like, "So the play runs for 24 hours?" I'm like, "No,
it's not like the reading of what is it, Moby Dick?
Oh my God, no. So the actors come in and they rehearse, and then the actual performance that the audience is invited to is 2 hours long because each play is 10 minutes long and there's 6 events.
Yes, right.
Yeah, so that is, a lot of people
They work for 24 hours. They enjoy it for 2 hours.
Yeah, and Cato McNichol is coordinating
Cato's
that
awesome.
for the second year in a
Great.
row.
Oh,
Used to
she's
be
wonderful.
David Folks, and he passed the torch to her, and she's done a fabulous job. And she's got some new people involved, and it's always really funny because the actors are sleep deprived and forgetting. It's great. It's a really, really fun time.
And
so
that
that's
is in the Crocker House.
that's at the
as
Crocker
well.
Yes, at the Crocker House.
Yeah.
So everything happens within 3 blocks of each other. Expressiones, Hygienic Art Gallery, the Art Park, Crocker House, and the Guard. So it's very walkable.
Are we missing
Right?
anything? Yeah.
Did it?
I think you covered all the
A few
locations.
points in between. I think.
So it's great. And then there's-
33 is
Yeah,
involved with the
33
Hoot
Golden.
Nanny.
Interspersed with all these fantastic restaurants, so you can easily spend a lot of time in New London.
So there's
weekends.
one more event that, do I have time to mention it?
Oh, absolutely.
I do? Okay, good. So the one more event that I think we haven't touched on at all is the Hygienic Poets.
Oh,
Rhonda
yes.
Ward is coordinating that this year.
Langston
she's really
Hughes,
excited
right?
to it. Langston Hughes?
Isn't she doing a Langston Hughes themed?
Oh, really?
That might
okay.
be news to me. I don't know.
okay.
So it's so that is actually the 3rd weekend. So if too many crowds and people overwhelm you, this is the perfect event for you. And it's February 10th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and it's open mic. So if you come at 6, you can sign up. I think the limit is 5 minutes per poet. And you can hear, again, amateur, professional. We had world award-winning poets come last year. Edmund Chabot was one of the poets. And it is uncensored, and I'm warning people that you have to keep a really open mind. But yeah, it's everything. It's some things people are... beautiful poetry that people are reading, and some people are screaming at like the government. So it's all sorts of stuff, and you just have to have.
There'll be none of
an
that
open
this
mind.
year, though.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I told you about
This year will be really interesting for sure.
who's that guy they just put in the presidency?
I don't
I can't think of his name.
It'll be an interesting year, and we've got a lot of it's a good year to make art. That's for
Yeah.
sure. It is a
That's
really
It's
good
true.
year to make some art. So so I think those are all of the events in total. I think we touched on all of them. I don't know if you have
I
any
dare say there'll be
questions.
some spontaneous art performance going on and performance art at random occasions throughout the weeks.
Oh yeah, people dress
undoubtedly.
up for this. I mean,
Exactly.
it's 38 years of people feeling. It's really the vibe of New London that they get into. You know, it's artistic, but it's also a little bit risque, I guess is the right word to use. And people have a lot of fun with this. And we see people who have nothing to do with art on a daily basis, but they come and experience this once a year and are just blown away by it.
Okay, let me just, we're heading down the home stretch. I just want to do a roundtable discussion. You all have been veterans of the Hygienic. This is only my 4th go around with the Hygienic. Starting with Ben, what is your favorite memory of Hygienic's past?
Boy, so I lived in the area in the 90s, and I did a few art-related things for the Hygienic back then, and like it's so funny, like some of the characters like Jim Stidful, like these New London characters that never change that you see year after year, and like I just always remember those guys, Vinny and Jim, and like just being, and they're still there, they're still the same, they still look the same,
Same energy.
They've carried the torch all these years, and I don't know, I have a ton of Hygienic memories, just like I think what Sarah said, it was just this sort of the heat in the middle of the winter, a little bit risque, a little bit fun, and if you weren't an artist or you were an artist, it was your chance to kind of be around artists.
Break outside the box a little bit. Get out of your comfort zone.
Put something in a gallery and not be judged, but just like, hey, I want to make a statement or whatever. So like, it's all good. I love Hygienic. I love it all.
Amy?
Yeah, I love that it's almost like a second Halloween.
Yeah.
People get dressed up, people dress crazy. Blacklight Garden Party is an invitation to wear, make a crazy neon hat, come to the garden party, So I like that very everyday is Halloween type attitude about the Hygienic, and the fact that it's no judge, no jury, no censorship, no fees. As a professional artist, you see these art shows and there's a charge, and this is people volunteering and people putting it out there for free.
Okay.
And it invites the public who might not come to an art gallery to check out art in a different way. So I love all of that.
let me just add mine before I give Susan the opportunity. First, Hygienic, I come in, I have this piece, I bring it in, I see Jim Stipful, he's at the door, and I say, Jim, you know, I'm thinking about hanging this. Where do you think would be a good place to put this? And he says, oh, the bathroom.
Because it got so full?
Nice.
No, I think that was more of a commentary on the artwork.
That is so,
So it's been all good ever since.
That's funny.
Good.
How about Susan?
Well, obviously, I love the thrill of the fashion show and the rush of doing that whole event. But as a Hygienic resident, every year this event just keeps gaining momentum. It never gets old. And I think living upstairs as a resident and having my studio up there, seeing the long line of people line up that Saturday morning to drop off their artwork is really, really cool. Like it's amazing every year that people just are that, you know, excited and passionate about the show to wait in line in the cold and, you know, want to participate in the show. So that's probably one of my favorite memories.
All right. And Sarah?
I don't know if I can say I have a favorite memory, but I have a memory. You know where I'm going with this.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Last
We're up at the
year.
Rock House.
Oh no, are you
Last year,
gonna bring this up?
let me. Oh, I have to bring this up. So last year, yeah, we had the Rock House going on. I'm up there.
Scoop
Amy
there, huh?
had the ice carnival last year, which had some flame throwing involved.
A lot.
That was a
And
shooting arrow.
A lot.
I hear fire sirens while I'm up the street at the Crocker House, and I see smoke, and I'm like, oh, one of the businesses must have had a kitchen fire, whatever. And then all of a sudden I knew. I'm like, Hygienic. So I run down the street. By the time I got there, yes, the fire was out, but we did have a tree go up like a match last year before the crowds entered. And, you know, it might have been completely adrenaline rush at the time, but it might be one of my favorite memories. It was like baptism through fire at the time.
Absolutely.
And it got handled, and it was definitely a thrilling event, and I don't think I'll ever forget that.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And by the way, that's not why I'm not doing the ice carnival this year. It wasn't the fire, which everybody looks at as a positive, which is interesting. It's just there were so many people in the park after the fire. And so I wanted to change things up a little bit. Do
Yeah.
something different.
That's what art's all
Not
about,
like
right?
me to repeat myself for 4 years in a row.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Well, I thank everybody for coming down here. This has been
Thank
great.
you, Drew.
Thank you,
It's been high water mark for Art Now and here on Atlantic Broadband. I appreciate everybody coming down out and definitely check out all these events we've been talking about. Joe, if we could show the people the Hygienic art poster real quickly. And I want to thank everybody. And with that, I'm going to say this is Art Now and here, over and out.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Drew.